Before this video begins, make sure you like this video right now because the detail you're about to notice changes everything. Comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to Jikook Lover, the only place where hidden moments finally come to light. At first, fans only noticed one thing: the food in his hand. Something simple, something human, something real. But then, they saw someone else, walking right beside him, silent, alert, watching every movement. A bodyguard. Why was he there at that exact moment? What was really happening behind this ordinary scene? And why, even while being protected, did he still look so quietly alone? Stay until the end, because this moment might mean more than anyone expected. It wasn't supposed to matter. It wasn't planned. It wasn't announced. There was no stage, no spotlight, no performance, no countdown, no dramatic entrance. Just a quiet moment captured by chance, somewhere in the middle of an ordinary day that was never meant to become extraordinary. And yet it did, because sometimes the smallest moments carry the loudest echoes. The video began spreading without warning. At first, it was just another clip, another few seconds in a world flooded with endless content. There was no dramatic title, no emotional music, no attempt to frame it as something historic. But history has never needed permission to happen. In those few seconds, a familiar figure walked forward calmly, almost blending into the environment around him. There was no attempt to stand out, no performance, no awareness that millions of eyes would soon analyze every step, every gesture, every silent detail. He was holding food, something simple, something ordinary, something profoundly human. And for a moment, it felt like the world stopped breathing. Jungkook, a name that has echoed across continents, a presence that has filled stadiums with sound and emotion, a person who has stood at the center of global attention for years, becoming more than just an artist, more than just an idol. He became a symbol, a feeling, a connection shared between strangers across the world. But in this moment, he wasn't on stage. He wasn't performing. He wasn't singing. He was just walking, holding food in his hand like anyone else might. And yet, he wasn't alone. At first, many viewers didn't notice. It was subtle, easy to miss, easy to overlook if you weren't searching for something deeper. But as the video replayed again and again, as fans slowed down the frames, as eyes sharpened and hearts leaned closer, they saw him, a bodyguard, walking right beside him, not in front, not far behind, right beside him, close enough to protect, close enough to react, close enough to remind everyone watching that this moment, no matter how ordinary it appeared, existed within a reality that could never truly be ordinary. The bodyguard didn't speak. He didn't smile. He didn't distract. He simply existed as a silent shield. And suddenly, the emotional weight of the video doubled. Because now, fans weren't just seeing Jungkook holding food. They were seeing the invisible boundary that had always existed around him. A boundary made of necessity, of protection, of responsibility, and it changed everything. Some fans said they felt comfort seeing the bodyguard there. It meant he was safe. It meant someone was watching over him. It meant that even in public, even in quiet moments, he was not vulnerable. But others felt something else entirely, something heavier, something harder to explain. Because the bodyguard's presence also revealed a truth that many had tried not to think about. That even in his most human moments, he could never fully disappear into normal life. He could walk, he could eat, he could breathe, but he could never truly be unseen. Every step existed within invisible protection. Every movement existed within quiet surveillance. Every moment existed within a world that would never fully let him be just another person passing through space. And fans felt that reality in their chest. Not as pain, not as anger, but as a quiet, emotional understanding. For years, BTS has lived at the center of global attention, redefining what it means to be seen, to be loved, to be followed by millions who feel personally connected to their existence. But connection has a cost. Visibility has a cost. Love, on that scale, has a cost. And the bodyguard walking beside Jungkook was not just a person. He was a symbol of that cost. He represented the invisible structure that allowed Jungkook to exist safely in a world that watched him constantly. He represented the reality that Jungkook's life, no matter how calm it appeared on the surface, existed within layers of protection most people would never experience. And yet, despite that protection, despite that constant presence, there was something in Jungkook's posture that fans couldn't stop talking about. He didn't look tense. He didn't look afraid. He didn't look trapped. He looked calm, natural, quiet, almost peaceful. He held his food casually, without urgency, without stress, as if, in that moment, he had found a small pocket of normalcy within a life that rarely allowed it. And that contrast broke something open inside millions of hearts. Because fans realized something they hadn't fully understood before. Protection does not erase humanity. Fame does not erase simplicity. And even someone protected by bodyguards still exists as a human being who gets hungry, who walks, who lives within small, quiet moments. The video continued to spread, crossing borders, languages, and time zones. Millions watched, millions replayed, millions felt something they couldn't fully explain. Not because of what happened, but because of what it revealed. It revealed the thin line between global icon and ordinary person. It revealed the invisible shield that exists around someone loved by millions. It revealed the quiet coexistence of freedom and protection. And now, one question lingers in the minds of fans everywhere. If even in a moment as simple as holding food, he still needed someone beside him to protect him. Does Jungkook ever truly experience a moment where he is completely free? Or has the world's love quietly become the one thing he can never escape? The question didn't arrive all at once. It crept in slowly, quietly, uninvited. Fans who watched the video for the first time didn't immediately understand why it stayed with them long after the screen went dark. It wasn't dramatic. Nothing shocking happened. No one ran toward him. No one screamed. No chaos. No confrontation. Just walking. Just breathing. Just existing. And yet, something about it refused to let go. Maybe it was the way he didn't look around nervously. Maybe it was the way his hand held the food so naturally, without hesitation, without self-consciousness. Or maybe it was the silent synchronization between him and the bodyguard beside him, like two people existing in the same reality, but carrying completely different emotional weights. The bodyguard walked with purpose. His eyes scanned the environment with quiet vigilance. Every movement was intentional, every step calculated. His presence was not intrusive, but it was unmistakable. And Jungkook walked like someone who had learned to live inside that invisible shield. Not resisting it, not questioning it, simply accepting it as part of his world. That realization hit fans harder than anyone expected. Because for so long, people had only seen the version of him framed by perfection. The version illuminated by stage lights. The version amplified by speakers and cameras and carefully curated moments. But this version was different. This version didn't belong to the stage. This version belonged to reality. And reality, for someone like him, looked quieter than fans imagined. There was no grand entrance, no dramatic aura, just a young man walking beside someone tasked with ensuring his safety, holding food like anyone else might after a long day. But perhaps that was the most powerful part of all, because it showed that even after everything, after the fame, after the history, after becoming a name known in places he may have never even visited, he still carried pieces of his ordinary self. Pieces that fame could not erase. Pieces that protection could not hide. Pieces that reminded the world that behind the global phenomenon was still a person capable of living inside small, fragile, fleeting moments. And maybe that's why the video continues to spread. Not because fans are searching for answers, but because they're searching for understanding. Understanding of what it truly means to live a life where even your quietest moments are never entirely your own. Understanding of how someone can be surrounded by millions of people who love him and still walk beside only one person in silence. And now, as millions continue replaying the footage, slowing it down, analyzing every detail, one haunting thought refuses to fade. Was this simply a normal day protected by routine security? Or was this a rare glimpse into the only version of peace he's ever allowed to have?